What's going on, guys? It is vlog time, and as per usual in the vlog time, we go into what is coming up and what's going on with me, and we might segue into a topic, although I believe I'm going to save the topic for later. Watched an interesting video by General S. Lee, who I've been told about by Hibernia's son. He's mentioned him several times. I just had not time to watch his videos, but since he had my name mentioned in there, I had to watch it. Since that, so normally I haven't had the time to check out some of his videos. I like his slow, steady explanations on his views on things, and he kind of jumped on the bandwagon with the morality of scavenging videos that Hibernia's son and I went back and forth on. And I will probably do another video later on. Probably, the only time I do more than one video during the week now, because I'm so busy, is ones like this, as Hibernia does say he just does on the fly. He just hits record and that's it, no editing. And that's the way it's going to have to be, especially when I'm as busy as I am. I'm behind on the videos on the WOLCMNJ site, which is the church site for the Day to Pray for the Peace of Jerusalem conference, which happened the first weekend of October. I'm trying to get those all set. In fact, I'm editing and re-editing the Ryan Murrow appearance. He came to the conference as well. And those of you who've seen the Mojo Thought You Should Know series, which is always something, if I find something that is pertinent to people's well-being in general, or if it's pertinent, newsworthy as far as prepping, and that's when I throw the Mojo Thought You Should Know. And usually they're dealing with Ryan Murrow. Ryan Murrow is a friend of mine, someone who I implicitly trust. I don't always agree with him. Some views that he has I don't agree with, but I know he was in support of giving financial aid to the Syrian rebels, and I was completely against that. And I understood his reasons. I mean, he knows some of the moderate Syrians, not the Al-Qaeda versions, but the moderates. He knows some of them personally, and out of vested personal interest, he kind of wants to see them succeed and survive. So I can understand that, but as a whole, these moderates are, as far as I'm concerned, they have not a chance with or without our help to overrun Assad's army, let alone the Al-Qaeda force that's there. Al-Qaeda is far too focused to win that war, and I think they might very well accomplish it. And we're already strapped, the United States, as is, and we already have enough of our hands tied with Iran. So that's one place where I can't agree with him on. The great thing is, when I first started prepping, and actually what got me into prepping was when I did my own research on militant Islam, and I found out many of the things, as he talked about Islamberg. I, in fact, drove up there. I didn't go inside, I just drove up to the gate, or the road where it had the sign, just to prove, know that it really does exist. It wasn't some kind of happenstance rumor. And that made me delve even further into how prevalent is this in our country. And that's when I came across information. You can find it if you read the book Triple Cross. It's about Ali Muhammad. And Ali Muhammad, he actually trained bin Laden. He's the one that came up with the scheme on how to hijack a plane. And it's called Triple Cross because he was working for the FBI, the CIA, and was a military officer, and was basically actually, no, I digress. He was an FBI agent, I believe, or a CIA agent. It's been a while since I've I should refresh before I start videotaping my memory here. But CIA, I believe, and he was in the military as an officer or a high-end officer, and he was also working for, it wasn't even Al-Qaeda at the time, but he was actually working for some radical elements of Islam. And inadvertently, he kind of was a part of the beginnings of Al-Qaeda. So if you ever get if you get a chance, I would highly recommend you read Triple Cross. There is a National Geographic video. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. You can watch that as well. Very informative. Sorry, I'm exhausted. Today was a killer. So because of a lot of the things I researched, and there was a period of time where I literally could rattle off the names of who was leading Hezbollah at the time, who was leading Hamas, and a lot of the dealings with and learning the histories of what's happened with Israel and understanding that, and what's happened with the Jews and all of that. It just all came into fruition, and I started I started realizing that, there's no guarantee for tomorrow, especially when you have a group of people that believe that they're commissioned by God to spread Islam across the world. And that was kind of the beginnings of my prepping. And I came across Ryan Murrow at a conference, and he was, I think, 19 at the time. He was really young, younger than he looks now, like a little baby. And they're touting him as a radical political analyst expert. And I'm like, really? This kid looks like he's 12. So I knew my stuff at the time, so I listened. And he was literally on point. I was riveted. And I went up and, gave him props. I was surprised, and I asked him maybe 2 questions, and one of them he didn't know the answer to, but the other one he did. And I was impressed by that. And I'm like, this kid really knows his stuff. So I went and saw him a couple times in different conferences. Whenever I saw his name pop up, I went to check him out. And every single time he was hitting it right out of the park. As I was finding info and I figured things out myself, I would go see him, and he was literally reaffirming all the things that I researched. So then I thought to myself, well, heck, if I get to know this kid, I don't even have to watchdog it as much as I am, and I can pay attention to other things. And that's what's happened. And now I kind of have him on speed dial. Anytime I have a question of an author of a certain article, or, to the validity of something that's on the news, because you're constantly hearing the scare tactics a lot of times. A lot of times it is fear-mongering on the radical Islam deal, whenever they want to kind of sidetrack or keep people's attention elsewhere. So I can literally call him up and find out exactly what the real deal is. And so he's been getting a lot of airtime on Glenn Beck and other shows. In the near future, I'll probably do a video. If you guys ever have questions to ask, by all means, I can ask him or even videotape it. I am extremely busy, so I'll be only, like I said, doing 2 videos a week. I'm trying to focus on prepping. When I receive my video camera back, I'm going to try and see if I can download some of the videos I've already done. Like I said, most of the prepping is most of the videos are going to be along the lines of prepping, except for my vlogs, which will be just updates and sometimes commentary I might throw up. The Get Out Safe Store meetup went very well. There was about, there wasn't a lot of people, about 12, maybe 15. I didn't really count them. But a lot of just normal, average, everyday people that were really looking to understand how they could be more prepared. And they came with their notebooks, and it was really good. And normally you'll meet a wacko or 2, but I didn't really find that any. So I was pretty happy that it was just average people, and that's what it's about. I don't get paid to do it. I just do it because, and I know, I know Pop Prepper is gonna be like, I just want to help out the Get Out Safe store, and in that being, hopefully you guys are still watching this 10 minutes in. Please, go on their website and maybe support them here and there whenever you can. Like buy small items, whatever, or buy large items. I mean, whatever you feel led to do. This is a store that I really hope succeeds. They keep going through these like dips and valleys, and with the economy the way it is, it's not really helping. I just want to see these guys succeed, and that's why I've dedicated my own personal time to go down there. And they kind of last minute, like 2 weeks prior, asked me to speak. I thought I was only going to be talking for a little while, but I ended up teaching the whole segment, which is fine. I mean, I did enough of those teachings at my church, hence the reason why I'm on YouTube, because I was really just going to be doing videos for the church, but it morphed into something else, obviously, and I enjoy making the videos when I have the time. So anyway, it went really well, and it went really long. So I know Brooklyn Prepper was like making fun of me, saying I was good, and One Ugly Guy, I was like, oh, you're probably going to talk for like 2 hours. And it really was almost like 2 hours by the time question and answer was done. But it was good, and they're kind of excited. They want to come back again, so the next time we'll do it. I want to do it when Brooklyn is there and One Ugly Guy is there, so they can get different perspectives from different preppers, and I think it's very important. And both guys, One Ugly Guy and Brooklyn, dedicate their personal time without charging anything, and it's just that's what it's about, guys. That's what prepping is about. Why a lot of these people are on. There are people on YouTube that are trying to make a buck. Some people, I don't mind them making a buck. I'm a capitalist. When they use fear as the motivation to drum up sales, that doesn't fly with me. Legitimate information, different products that preppers come across that they want to share with everybody. That's what it's about. It's about sharing information. You have to take it with a grain of salt. I've been wrong. I've said things on my channel where I was off, or I said something wrong that wasn't correct information. So you'll make mistakes, and the cool thing is usually guys will correct you on that. There are preppers on here that are definitely a couple sandwiches short of a picnic. They're a little bit off. I tend to stick with people that are pretty rational-minded. I try to stick with channels that are not so conspiracy theoried up. Because, when it comes down to it, a lot of these conspiracy theories, one can't even be proven, and some of the ones can be completely proven to be false, and people won't have it, because it's, to believe a conspiracy, I believe psychologically it's more comforting, because at least with the conspiracy, someone's in control. When you have what I've always dubbed the chaos factor, where there really is no predictability, there's just the assumption of when, and that's one of the things with terrorism. That's definitely the you don't know when. You can have an idea, you might have a chance. They've said in an article prior, a while back, by a legitimate source, that Mumbai-style terrorist attacks were being touted to be coming stateside to the United States. And it might still be in the works. Who knows? We don't know. And we're not going to be told. And if we are told, we might be told partial information just to get everybody all in a panic, so we're not looking at other things in the government going on. So it's just, there's so much distrust and so much misinformation out there. And that's why I'm glad I've got Ryan to pull info from, because it saves a lot of time for me, and hopefully it saves a lot of time for you guys. Al Fuqra is something I've known all about, and you can look that up, and they have somewhere in the neighborhood of 22 militant camps around the country. That's you'll see in the Mojo Thought You Should Know. Well, I'm running out of time, so do your best. Let God do the rest, guys. See you next week.